Welcome to the Tactical Dent Tech Podcast. You are now part of a small underground movement of dent technicians from all over the world. We are on a mission to change our industry with innovation, intelligence, and skill. But because we don't rely on an insurance company to steer customers our way, we need to do things different. We need to do things smarter. We do that through a network of technicians that we call the Tactical Tech Movement. Now let's get this revolution started.
Hey, what's up everybody? John Hiley here with Angela Hiley in the Tactical Dent Tech Podcast. And this is the very first episode of a new year. We are currently, obviously, as you know, because you're listening to this podcast right now, but it is 2020. And I just wonder how many of you guys have already broken your New Year's resolution. We're just trying to figure out when the motherfuckers are going to get out of the gym and go back to wherever it is they do.
Wherever they came from.
Whatever it is they do. Because honestly, it's so funny.
Nice, that's not nice. That's not nice. We shouldn't be.
But
like
honestly, though, it's reality. It's truth. You know, I mean, New Year's resolutions come and go. I believe most of the people listening to this podcast, if you've continued to listen to it, you are continuously trying to become a better version of yourself, bigger and better version of yourself. Yeah. I still do I'm just going to be honest with you guys, I think I did a rant about it last year, but I like the vibe of the New Year's resolution. I like the idea of, the feeling of rebirth, just because it's a reminder. I like to have that feeling as much as possible. I want to be fucking a new me every week. You know what I mean? I think every Sunday, it's like time for a new birth, a new version of myself to come out, a better version.
A new good version.
Yeah, you don't want to go the opposite direction.
Yes.
You keep getting shittier and shittier. Yeah, that's definitely...
You are not allowed to be a shitty person.
You know, the thing is, though, I truly believe that if you only did that once a year, if you only did your New Year's resolution once a year, essentially that's what would happen to you. Because if that one time a year is the only time you're willing to put the effort into, having the idea of becoming a better version of yourself that next day, but you didn't continuously do that. You didn't continuously update that or maintain that feeling or, stay committed to that. Then ideally by the end of the year, you would just continuously, become shittier, a shittier version, because you're starting out at your best and you continuously get worse until the next year comes and then you do it over again. Right?
Yes, that's true.
I believe we all go through cycles like that, though. I believe that, there's days when I come out and I'm just like, man, this is going to be like the best day of my life. And there's days that are not so good. But typically, I'll use them days that are not so good as a motivator, as a catalyst to fuel that next day.
Yeah, I got to put your ass back in check.
Well, it's the same reason why I bought a mini trampoline. Actually, guys, believe it or not, it's sitting in my truck now. I tried to open it in the house,
and fucking styrofoam goes everywhere, and he knows how much I hate styrofoam.
Yeah, so I get this idea. I want to open it in the house, and it happens to have all this styrofoam shit everywhere, and then it won't fit back in the box because
it's stuck all over his legs and his feet, and I'm like,
so I had to,
styrofoam.
I had to run it out to the truck, and I'm gonna open it up. When I get to the shop tomorrow, put it together, and I'm going to jump on that motherfucker. I'm going to bounce up. This is just a small miniature trampoline, but I'm literally going to jump on it and bounce on it. And, the idea behind this is that it's a reminder. So, you guys are thinking, John, what'd you get a trampoline? You're going to exercise. Is this your New Year's resolution? What is it, right?
And make sure you got that bar that can go across to it so he can give himself support. 'Cause he's got some bad knees. John's got bad knees, and I'm like, let's make sure we do this in a safe way for you to accomplish.
Actually, the reason why I got that bar is because I want to do some athletics on it. I want to do some bar work, where you jump and you spread your legs and you get on top of the bar, spin around, stuff like that.
Oh.
So
that'd be really interesting.
The trampoline, guys. What does the trampoline symbolize to me? I know many of you guys are probably thinking that now. What does the trampoline symbolize to me? The trampoline symbolizes that regardless in this world, you're going to have people that are trying to push you down. So when you're jumping on the trampoline, you've actually got to go down a little bit to get the momentum to shoot up. Okay? So think about that. Right before you shoot up into the air, right before the trampoline pushes you up into the sky,
Yeah, that.
you've got a tiny little dip there. And that little dip is a reminder that, look, people are always going to try to hold you back. People are occasionally going to try to push you down. But that little dip, that's the reminder that that is needed to skyrocket to the next level.
You got to keep on moving.
To absolutely skyrocket to the next level. You know, it's so crazy because anybody that I've ever talked to, and I mean, you guys know that I try to surround myself with, you know, the right type of business minds. I try to surround myself with the right type of people, and I try to be a contributing member to them as well. But, you know, one of the things that is absolutely 100%. Everybody I talk to that have done some massive things in business, they made some massive changes in their life to the positive and taken themselves to that next level. Anybody that's ever done that actually says there's always a dip right before that. And that dip is designed to discourage, to confuse you. It's designed to make you give up, okay, and stop and, you know, pretty much hold you down.
Yeah.
So again, the trampoline is a reminder that when you feel that dip, when you feel that little bit of discouragement or all that effort that you put behind something just doesn't quite feel like it's going to work out, that as soon as you feel that dip, you can begin to anticipate the momentum and the force that's actually going to, you know, just hurl you to the top.
Something fucking amazing is getting ready to happen.
Something fucking amazing is getting ready to happen.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I want you guys to be committed to having a new week's resolution.
There you go.
You know, every Sunday, have a new week's resolution that, you know, you're going to do something that week that's going to make you become a bigger, better version of yourself.
Yeah, and don't let anyone shit in your Wheaties.
And if they do, just know that it has to happen so you can shoot to the next level. Go right back to my trampoline metaphor.
True.
It's kind of cool. I'm actually going to go live next week just bouncing on my trampoline.
Oh, this will be interesting.
And then I'm just going to talk all kinds of shit about why, you know, you guys want to hold me down? Look at this, motherfucker. Woo! You hold me down. Look what happens when I go down. Boom! I'm up. I'm up. I'm up. I'm up.
I might have to come over to the shop and watch you this, but I'll probably end up peeing my pants because it probably is too funny.
Yeah, it's definitely going to my office. So definitely, I've got room in my office. I've got probably my office is twice the size of my other office.
Yeah.
And because we've got such a bigger location now, everything's spread out. So it, you know, I've either had to buy some furniture, I bought some new toolboxes. I've tried to recycle as much stuff that I had at the old location, but little by little, I'm trying to bring in new stuff, get in the new, get the old out. And hopefully I'll get some stuff done with the walls, because when we moved in, the walls were, I mean, look, they're painted nice, but it's like a yellow color. So eventually we're going to purge all of that, get rid of that, and
Yeah.
it's coming along.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming along. And anytime that I think I get a little bit of a moment of time happening, it seems like, you know, all kinds of shit happens. Like, for instance, I mean, what is this? The beginning of January,
Yeah.
and I've got $7,000 worth of dent repair sitting over there. I need to work on.
Yeah.
And
Because we are motherfucking money magnets.
as you should be a motherfucking money magnet.
Say, I am a money magnet.
I am a money magnet.
Oh, it's my new thing. That was like I was outside and I was outside picking up dog shit and I looked down and there was a dime. I found a dime in the
Pick
yard.
that motherfucker up.
I picked it up and I said, I am a money magnet.
Yeah.
With my hands in the air and the sun was shining on me.
So I recently read a book from T. Harv Eker. It's like a millionaire mindset book. And it's one of the things that he talks a lot about in the book is declarations, you know, feeling like a money magnet, opening yourself up to like be able to accept the abundance.
Yeah.
He actually makes a lot of good points, you know what I mean? A lot of good points, you know. Looks like my dog's in there rubbing her face in the carpet, but
What are you doing?
is she rubbing her face in the carpet?
Now she's rolling around on her back having a heyday.
Oh, wow. That's our pacemaker dog right
Come here,
there.
baby. Give her
I told you
girl.
that pacemaker. I mean, since she got that pacemaker installed, it's like they put a supercharger under the hood.
Yeah, just making sure everything stays intact with her.
Yo, that being said, guys, I will tell you, whatever you decide to focus on, you'll get more of it. So you guys want a really good book, check that out. That is T. Harv Eker, and I want to say it's Millionaire Mindset or something like that, but very, very good book.
I love saying it because even when I get like a little down or like, you know, maybe a little fear sets in or something or just a little iffy, I say, I am a money magnet. And it makes you feel good.
You know, and to be honest with you, that's like the best thing that you can possibly do if you tend to feel like a negative thought coming on. Actually, just went live on my, if you guys are friends with me on Facebook, I just went live on my Facebook wall. Was talking about specifically that, you know, negative thoughts and how neurons that fire together will wire together and how you can actually combat. Like when a negative thought fires through your mind, you can actually fire back at it with a positive thought. And because a positive thought is literally scientifically proven to be 1,000 times stronger as far as the the electrical scale. So anytime something fires in your brain, like a little bit of electricity fires inside of there, almost like two little antennas with a little electrical lightning bolt in between of them actually fires.
Yeah.
And they've actually proven that when you have a positive thought, it fires like 100 times stronger than a negative thought. So if you can imagine a negative thought being this really weak light bulb that's like just flickering and barely, you know what I mean, alive. Because the truth of it is, and then you can imagine a positive thought being a bright light bulb with a big old beam shooting beside, you know, a strong fire comes from a positive thought.
Yeah.
I truly believe that negative thoughts are like viruses that we get, like a computer gets.
Yeah, like our stomach virus we had recently.
Like our stomach virus that we had recently, something like that, right?
We both got it.
But I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not. I really think there's a fine line between being like one of them woohoo, everything's positive people,
Yeah.
to being somebody who just understands that thinking positive intentionally to serve your purpose is just something smart that you do.
Yeah.
I mean, I want you guys to think about that again, okay? Because I'm not here to, the world's a fucking savage place. Shit gets ripped apart.
Absolutely.
People die. I mean, there's all kinds of crazy shit that happens in this world. But currently, right now, in my mission, in my life, whatever, you know, we decide to do, whatever mission that we have, you want to fill your mind with things that will actually serve that mission intentionally. Because the truth of the matter is, things are only defined by the meaning that we give it, right? So we can choose. We can choose the meaning that we give everything.
Correct.
And that's why when you intentionally do that, you don't walk around all gooey, let people take advantage of you, think the whole world's jolly dolly lollipop all the time, like one of them real goofy people. You know, that like you could just see him coming a mile away, like smiling like Tom Cruise, jumping up and down on the couch type shit, you know? Like,
you love using that.
Right, but you know what I mean? There's a difference between that type of positive thinker and then somebody who's just intelligent enough to fill their mind with thoughts that serve them and serve their purpose.
Yeah.
So
I
just thought I'd point that out because there's, people are like, well, I got to be one of them woohoo positive people, all gooey and, around people and, weird, and you don't have to be that person. Don't be that person.
No.
In fact, I think some people sometimes are scared when they're around me because I can go from being the life of the party to being like extremely intense, extremely intense.
I was telling John, we were at Target and we were like walking out and I was like, it's really hard to be married to like a man that's like you. Like for real, because like you're so intense and you're so like driven and you got all this stuff going on in your head and you got all this stuff going on around you. And the funny thing is
she only hears about 10% of what I'm thinking.
Yeah, which is good because I'm not like, I'm polar opposite, I'm more like, not like John, but I was just...
Well, see, I want to do things that scare the shit out of me. Like, I want risk. Like, I'm always looking for risk.
Yeah.
And I'm always looking for scary situations, and I'm just
scary situations.
I'm looking for that kind of stuff because I have so much faith that it'll always work out in my favor.
Oh, I know. And you have your mentality, but I hate this fucking phone. I always get these, wonderful spam calls, but no, it is. It's kind of it's challenging to be married to a man like you.
Now that was not very positive. I think you need to rewire it like, I love that you serve me phone.
I do.
But at this moment, I fucking hate you.
But it is. I'm sure probably a lot of women would probably agree that are married to men like you.
Yeah.
It's not... it's very rewarding, and you definitely have a lot of love that you give to me, but it can be, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And I think you would agree with that.
Yeah. And I at least want to read part of this post right here because this is a dude that I follow on Instagram. I've had a few little chats with him and stuff like that, back and forth like in Messenger and stuff like that. But dude's name is Sean Whalen, and really interesting character. He's, he triggers a ton of people, and but a lot of his stuff. He's probably one of the better copywriters that I've actually read, and I would probably guess because the type of stuff that he's writing, I'm actually into it, so it fuels me a little bit, and that's probably why I'm a little bit biased on his copywriting. But in general, dude is a phenomenal writer.
Every now and then I will, because I follow him as well, every now and then John pointed this one out, but I'll run across one and I'm like, I really like this. Yeah,
and we were just talking about, as she said, she just hated her fucking phone. But I want to talk about this a little bit because, I want people to understand what, in a sense, if you're out there, you're pushing hate, you're being a hater, and I don't think a lot of you on this podcast are doing this, but maybe you have somebody that's a hater because you're doing so well, you're doing things so great. I want you to understand at a deeper level exactly what they're doing to themselves, or if you happen to participate in any of this shit, what the fuck you're actually doing to yourself, okay?
Yeah.
Because I laugh about it. Like, I see people, of course, I get my share of haters, and it's so hilarious because typically I just starve it. I won't give it any of my time or any of my energy because I actually believe that I'm so far above a person that would spend their time. Like, I truly believe that I'm at such a higher level than a person that would spend their time hating on another person that it's almost like they're little fucking peons and it's not worth my time.
Yeah.
So because the problem is, you guys have heard this whenever you were kids, don't allow anybody to bring you down to their level. And that's the thing. Typically, man, at any time, and people can frame it around any fucking thing that they want. You can say it's, well, because this guy is doing this and I don't like it, or that guy is doing this and I don't like it. But the bottom line is, if you got time to be peering over into somebody else's world and looking at the shit they're doing, and it makes you so insecure that you've got to hate on them, then you're going to be living a life at mediocrity at best.
Yeah.
And if them same people, if it's the exact opposite, them same people are coming at you and they're coming towards you, and you allow them to continuously bring you down to their level, man, you are fucking missing the mark. You are really missing the mark. They actually, I heard somebody talk about this one time, and he told it as a story. I can't remember the guy's name. I just remember back in the day, I heard a book, and I specifically remember this story. And the story was, I guess back in the day, whenever an army would attack a kingdom, one of the very first things the kingdom would do is close the walls off and, close their bridge, close their walls off. So that way the army could not obviously get inside and pillage their kingdom. Mm-hmm. And they would try to fight them from, inside of the kingdom behind their walls. And what the armies actually would begin to do, they would begin to get rocks and actually chuck them inside of the kingdom's water supply. Basically, in an attempt to starve that kingdom from their water, which they knew that if there wasn't water, then eventually they would have to come out. They would need the water, they would need the food. So that way, when they came out, they could kill them during that process. Now, what I want you guys to think of is that literally you're building a temple. Okay, you are the king of your kingdom. All right. And your water supply that flows through you and the value that you bring to the world is pure, it's fresh, it's clean. This water supply flowing through you. These people that are pushing hate on you are the exact same thing. They're chucking these rocks into your water supply to kill your spiritual, literally to kill your spiritual water supply that's flowing in and flowing through you, and to bring you out to their level so they can try to kill you where they stand. Mm-hmm. All right? And I wanted to open it up with that because I wanted to read this post, and this is from Sean Whalen, and I do believe this is one of the better written posts on the subject. And he's an interesting dude. I mean, he feels like he's the king of his own world. He doesn't give a fuck about what you have to say about it. But anyhow, I'm going to start off the post right now. And this right here is a quote post from Sean Whalen. And it's, I don't care what you do. I don't care who you sleep with, vote for, do business with, what teams you like, what bling you have, rock or whips that you roll. I don't hate you. Shit, I don't even know you. I'm too busy doing me. I'm not here for second place or to take anything from you. I'm here to be the king of my own empire, lord of my own world, CEO of my own business, and master of my own domain. I want to be legend. Fuck yeah, I want to be legend. Why else play this game unless you want it all? I want people to read my books for thousands of years. I want billions of views and a household name. I want it all, man. I want my own first place. I want my own throne. But listen, you don't lose when I win. You lose when you win, okay? Or I'm sorry, you don't lose when I win. I don't lose when you win. I'm too busy doing me to hate on you. I'm too focused on my lane to hate yours. Some other cat has his own kingdom, has his own riches, has his own throne, has his own fame, has his own legacy. That's dope, man. Seriously. Good on you, bro. Every second I spend in hate is a second with my eyes off me and my world. Every second you spend in hate while looking at me or him or her is a loss for you and irrelevant to me. Think about it, man. You will never win by hating. Never. Your building will never be taller by tearing another building down. Your pocket will never get fatter by hating on my pocket. Your ride will never be faster by hating on what I drive. Somehow people have been led to believe that talking shit and hating will help them win. I'm here to tell you that you've been lied to. Hate is the fastest place to being broke, angry, and irrelevant. I'm too busy smiling to hate. I'm too busy loving to hate. I'm too busy building to hate. You don't like me, don't agree with me, or my businesses, or endorse me, I'm still going to go out and crush life. For me to sit on my throne and go to the moon. But one thing I'm sure, the second you start hating, man, your entire world will crumble. Little by little, brick by brick. When you focus on your kingdom and your throne, you don't have time to hate others. Hate is for pauperous man. Don't be a pauper man. Be a fucking king.
Oh, I like that. I so like that.
Think about some of that shit on the deepest level. Mm-hmm. If you hate the car somebody drives, is that going to make your fucking car faster?
No.
You know? And the truth of the matter is, the way the world works, whatever you hate on. So generally, the world, energy, everything around you, including your own mind, is going to try to protect you from what you hate or you're actually afraid of. So the moment you tell people, the moment that you feel, man, I hate this motherfucker because he's got all this money, the only thing that your brain, your subconscious actually understands in that statement is, I hate money.
Yeah.
And because of that, it'll secretly try to sabotage any chances that you'll have of actually gaining, getting, and being your fucking own. Mm-hmm. I was sitting with a very wise man and working with him. And we were talking about some things, and he was kind of like, hinting around and asking me about, this person and that person. And I told him, man, I'm like, you know what, man? I'm like, I got my own series of people that probably dislike what I do. But I looked at him and said, man, I'm just going to be honest with you. I said, I just wish them the best. Mm-hmm. They've got kids, they've got families, they've got things that they've got to take care of. And he immediately dropped everything that he was talking about, looked at me, and he said, man, he said, now I know you're ready to go to the next level. He said, what you said right there, now I know that you're ready to go to the next level.
Yeah.
The truth of the matter is, and not to mention literally, the moment that you begin to hate what somebody else is doing, and I don't give a fuck if this is your competitor and they're out there crushing it right in front of you. The moment that you begin to hate them, you take yourself out of the creative mind to actually do something with your own shit. Mm-hmm. You have to decide that you're going to focus on your own world and you're going to build your own empire, and then you're going to do it your way, and then you're going to put all that you have on it, because that hate that you're pushing out into the world or the universe is just a fucking excuse to be a loser. Mm-hmm. Period. Mm-hmm. It's just an excuse to be a loser. People can frame it any way that they like. They can say it any way that they want. But the bottom line is, that's just, and here's the interesting thing. By you focusing on your life, your business, your achievements, by you doing your thing and wishing well upon others, like legitimately wishing well upon others, you can't affect the way that they think. I mean, there could be some guy across town absolutely hating all the shit that you're doing. But you know what? That's not your problem anymore.
No.
Because you're focusing on you. You're doing your thing. You're wishing them the best. They, on the other hand, could be secretly sabotaging their chance to even fucking compete. That you're playing in the big leagues. They're playing in the fucking minors if they're hating on you for developing, creating, building, and strengthening your own empire, the things that you're doing, mm-hmm. the life that you're living. And then above and beyond that, from the outside looking in, what would you rather, for instance, I know maybe a lot of you guys got kids and stuff like that. What would you want your children to see you doing? Would it be a good example to tell your children, hey, we're not making money right now because so-and-so is doing this and they're doing that and they're taking all the bit, would you rather be that kind of person, or would you rather actually show them an individual that rises to the occasion? Would you rather teach them that you're an individual that works to become the best version of yourself on a daily basis? And I actually heard a saying, because, is it going to be hard? Of course it's going to be hard. But I actually just heard something recently. It's an amazing quote. I don't even know who quoted it, but I heard this recently, a book that I was listening to. And it said, an easy life is a hard life to live. A challenging life is an easy life to live. So when you wake up every day challenging yourself and with the desire and the strength to go to another level, and you're becoming a bigger and better version of yourself each and every day, mm-hmm. that's an easy life to live, because you feel accomplished. You feel that strength. You're shining your light on the world, unconsciously unlocking other people to do the same. And if you want to be an example, to your community, you want to be an example to your family, you want to be an example to your kids, that is the one way, because you can talk all the shit that you want, because kids aren't going to listen to it at all. Especially if you want to get to the point of being an example for your children, you can talk all the shit that you want and they're not going to listen to it. They're actually going to watch and look at your actions. I remember when I was a kid, I had a friend that was, we're probably 12, 13 years old, and we're out smoking cigarettes and shit like that, right? And you know what I mean? We're literally smoking cigarettes at that age.
So cool.
Right? But yeah, but here's the funny thing. Where do you think we got them? We got them from our parents. Okay? His dad had this huge issue with him smoking, and he would smell him down. I mean, all kinds of shit. And, Ryan didn't give a flying fuck. He smoked regardless because his dad smoked.
Yeah.
And he said, fuck that. He smokes 3 packs a day. And he wants me to quit smoking?
Yeah.
It's the same thing, man. You lead by example.
Yeah.
And you want to make your highest contribution to this world, you start focusing on becoming the best version of yourself. That's the best way that you can teach other people, is absolutely 100% by leading by example. And I'll tell you what, man, there's no room for hating on other people. There's no room for hating on other people while you're living by that example.
That's right. That's right, Daddy.
So
that's so right.
Well, and I know because I've been on both sides of the spectrum.
I know, me too.
Yeah, I'm sure I've
been a turd.
I can't even really remember why I did it, but I can't even really remember why I did it. But I remember just, and to me, I've always been conscious with money. I've always, I've caught myself, with jealousy thoughts, you know what I mean, and things like that in the past, and the bottom line is, all that shit did was bring deep-seated pain that I had to live with on a daily basis.
I know, right?
And the interesting thing is, the people that are actually going out there and doing this and that are hating on people, and I would say literally that mine was very, very minor compared to what you actually see out there in the world, where everybody on the fucking internet has an opinion, and everybody on the internet wants to jump down everybody's throat, and everybody on the internet wants to fucking, push their opinion on other people. Everybody on the internet wants to argue. Everybody on the internet wants to fucking hate. You know what I mean? And I would say mine would have been a very, very minor case of that. But I understand in a deep-seated way exactly how any time that I had ever held any hate in my heart or in my mind's eye for anybody else, how that affected me, how that changed my energy, and how that pushed me off the productive plane and put me in an area of feeling like shit, basically. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Look, no thought is ever going to live in your mind rent-free.
That's right.
Regardless, you're going to be
Say that again.
No thought is going to live in your mind rent-free.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's just something I wanted to talk to you guys about here on the Tactical Dent Tech podcast. Haven't went on many rants lately, so I thought starting off the new year, I would start it off with on a positive note.
Yeah.
And I know many of you guys who listen to this podcast. I mean, I know a lot of you guys. I mean, I've ran into all of you guys. Y'all are good people. I mean, you guys are smart. You guys are individuals who want to take yourself and your business to that next level. And I truly believe there's probably not even a whole lot of hate on this podcast. I still believe there's probably the few people on here that are just waiting for me to fuck up.
Oh, of course.
They think I'm going to get on here and maybe
wait a minute,
say some shit that
I know,
that
right?
I can't take back. Or
I know, right? So I just posted something on Instagram. That's so funny that you just said that, though. It says, someone is out there holding their breath, waiting for you to fail. Make sure they suffocate.
What's that other thing you showed me? You screenshotted earlier. That other quote that was funny.
Oh, I haven't stuck that on Instagram yet. It is. This
is kind of hilarious.
So it's just two normal looking people, and they're standing there looking at each other. Her, I'm a model on Instagram. What about you? Him, I'm a soldier on Call of Duty. Is that the one you were talking about?
Yeah. It's so interesting that you kind of said that because, I didn't even mention to everybody, guys. I am actually writing a book. So I am currently 7,500 words into a book that I will guarantee you, maybe it won't be published by April, but it will be written by April 4th because I actually went live inside of my mastermind group, and I wrote a $1,500 check to the Clinton Foundation which, to be honest with you, I'm not even going to get political. I'm not that political, but I would fucking rather die than give that check to the Clinton Foundation, knowing what I know about how corrupt the foundation is, and just things like that. But what I actually did was I wrote a $1,500 check, and I dated it for was that April? Was it January, February, March? It would be April the 4th is when I dated it. And that is exactly 90 days. And I have to write 1,000 words per day in this book to come up with what would be like a 90,000 word book.
Yeah.
And I have to have it done by that date. I actually went live inside of my mastermind group. I wrote the check, stuck it up on my board, so that way I've got to look at it each and every day, stuck it up on a whiteboard in my office, and let everybody know that if I don't have my book done, that I'm going to have to send it in. I'm going to have to send them that check.
Yeah.
And that's right around. It's kind of cool, kind of convenient, because we're actually our mastermind group. We've got a meeting in Miami. The mastermind group. So I don't know if any of you guys know this, but I ended up launching an industry-related paintless dent removal mastermind group at our last event, and we went ahead and we filled all the seats. Kind of the cool thing about the group is like, when somebody has a seat in that group, they've got a 50-mile protection radius around them where nobody in that area for 50 miles can join, which is super important because we're talking about some really deep, detailed things, some inner workings inside of people's businesses.
Yeah.
So we wanted people to feel comfortable. You really couldn't have two people in the same city sitting there.
Yeah.
And feel comfortable with talking about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So that being said, I actually went inside the mastermind group. We're going to be having our meeting in Miami, which is going to be the last weekend of March. Me and Mike, we're actually hitting up an Airbnb. Maybe it's on the ocean, somewhere like that in Miami. And everybody's going to fly out. We're going to have a weekend actual strategic meeting. And it's going to be our first quarterly where we're going to revamp our quarterly goals, things like that. But that being said, the book absolutely should be done by the time we're in Miami.
That's interesting that it's April 4th, because that's like 4. That's like my favorite number.
Ooh,
the 4th
well, I guess it was
month
meant to
on
happen.
the 4th day. Yeah, I was just realized that. I was like,
but I will tell you, I'm only 5 days into this. I'm already 2,500 words ahead of where I should be. The book is going.
You're really enjoying doing this. Like,
the interesting thing is, a lot of people ask me like, why did you do the check thing? I'm going to give you guys a little tip here, okay? If you want to get something done, you got to go to extreme measures to make sure that it will absolutely get done. And this was basically me. I'm not saying that I couldn't have gotten it done without that, but this is me literally concreting it and forcing it into existence. Because now not only is it going to get done, there's no way that I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons why that is because I actually tried to write a book before, and I only got a couple days into it. For whatever reason, it just kind of petered off, and I didn't do it anymore, right?
Yeah.
So because I knew that I was inclined to, let's just say it might have been painful for me at the time, and that's why I didn't continue to do it. I had to create something where I would associate pain with the not writing of the book. Mm-hmm. So by me writing that check and then also going live inside of my mastermind group, coupling it with public humiliation, you know what I mean? Like all of this great shit, right? And now that I'm telling you guys, like, look, see, I'm even adding additional public humiliation because now you guys are going to want to know what's going on. But I will tell you guys, it is a marketing book. It's designed for anybody who it's being written for anybody who could be like a service-based marketer or anybody who may be an online marketer. So it's a marketing book, but it's deeper than that. It's a way of life. It's a totally different. There's no other marketing book that's ever been written like this. It's more of a way of life first, and then a marketing book rather than just a flat out marketing book. You can buy
think anybody will enjoy reading this book.
I do too, and I'm not going to give because I don't have the website set up, so I don't want you guys going over there and looking at it before I even have it ready. But I will tell you guys, I got a good idea, good grip on what the logo is. I've got the domain name already purchased for the website. It's, believe it or not, I got a killer domain name for it. But you guys will have to wait for that. I'll continuously update you guys and let you guys know what's going on with it. But some really cool stuff going down there. And but what I've done by writing that check and putting myself in that position is that I'm forcing it into existence. And I recommend, if you guys have things that, for years that you've been wanting to do,
and just put it off,
and you continuously put it off, but in the back of your mind, it's been nagging you, like them nagging things that continuously come up, and you're going, oh man, I wish I would have done that. I wish I would have done that over and over again. Force that fucking shit into existence.
Yeah.
Put yourself in a position where you'll associate more pain with the doing of the thing, and you're guaranteeing you're forcing it into reality. And I can't believe how happy I've been to write this book. Like, I will literally fall into the zone as I'm writing it. And to be honest with you, the whole idea behind writing a book in 90 days is writing a shitty book in 90 days and then spending an ample amount of time editing, researching, putting things together.
Yeah.
It's going to go into like phase 2 of editing and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I keep rereading and going back and rereading it, and I'm telling you that this book is coming out fucking really well. And I'm not just saying that because it's my book. I read a lot of books. I listen to a lot of books. This book is going to be something different than anybody's seen in the marketing world. And it's just going to be a very interesting, again, it's more of a way of life. If you can imagine, joining the Raikou Ninja clan of marketing.
Well, I already know you're going to do it because I'm going to make sure you do it.
Well, I have to do it.
I know you have to do it, but I'd be on your ass.
She was all sketched out when I first told her about the whole check thing. No, don't do it. But now you get it, right?
No, I totally get it.
Yeah, it's man, I'll tell you guys, that's just some of the things you got to understand. And some of that is just coming back to being self-aware, to understanding yourself. Like, I knew that I tried it once. For whatever reason, I really can't remember why. I just didn't finish it.
Yeah.
And
I think it became less of a priority.
Right. So whatever, I put it on the back burner. Mm-hmm. Well, I just did some shit that does not allow me to put it on the back burner.
But then also, you're becoming very good at managing your time and setting out certain slots of time to where you're going to be focusing on this for an hour, or doing this for an hour, or doing that. So you've gotten a lot better at that compared to before.
Yeah. So definitely getting better at that kind of stuff. But that being said, the original thing that we were going to talk about on this, I know the podcast actually kind of went completely different path than what we had originally intended. And we were actually going to talk about, you were just talking about Instagram a little while ago, and the girl being an Instagram model.
Oh, yeah.
And something actually was reading in Harv Ecker's book that was pretty interesting to me is that he actually talked about people who essentially they do the whole social media thing just for as much attention as they can possibly get. Right.
Yeah.
So they're doing it like their intent is to just get as much attention as possible on themselves. And one of the most interesting things that Harv Eker was talking about in the Millionaire book was that the reason why people seek attention is because they confuse it with love. And the reason why people will not be fulfilled by the attention that they get, they'll never have that fulfillment of the intention they get, is because they're seeking something that isn't there.
Yeah, that's true.
And one of the interesting things that I had came to realize is that the more passion, the more energy, the more love that you put into something that you put out into the world, and you actually, when you do it with the intent of helping people and making them better, and at the very, letting them see your changes, your light, when you're sharing your stories to actually help them, you will begin to receive that love.
Yeah.
Because you're really pushing that love out into the world. But when you do things with the intent of just being shallow and being kind of like greedy and taking from the world, and I want to do this just so I can see how many likes that I can get and all this kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
You'll actually never be fulfilled because you're confusing that with the need for love.
No, absolutely.
So. Mm-hmm. Interesting thing there, huh?
I know.
That's at the top of the pyramid. Self-actualization right there. Right? Mm-hmm. So, anyhow, guys, I hope you enjoyed this Tactical Dent Tech podcast. Hey, what's your new tagline, baby?
My new tagline is, "You are a moneymaker."
A money magnet?
Oh, money magnet.
I thought it was your vibe is your tribe.
Wait a minute, I've been going around saying I'm a money maker, right? No, I'm a money magnet.
You are a money magnet.
I am a money magnet.
Try that, guys. Right now, touch your heart and say, I am a money magnet.
I am a motherfucking money magnet.
Now I want you guys to touch your head and say, I've got a millionaire mind.
I've got a millionaire mind.
Declare it, baby. Speak it into existence. But above and beyond that, be that motherfucker.
I'm sorry. I was just so lost into your eyes when you were, and talking and whatnot. I just lost my train of thought.
I get that.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Appreciate you. We'll see you on the next one.
Bang, bang.